Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf, a biker's life less ordinary. So, basically just had a glorious ride out in the back roads here. Just come away from the town. I'm going to hit these back roads here. Look, I'm just on the edge of the forest here. A nice little stream going through that. All very lovely. Right, so basically I'm going to be heading up this road here. Kind of parallels the rail track. You should just see on cue a train goes by. But this is a kind of a bit of a local road to me, well, about 30 miles away from where I live, and it's S's, lots of S's through the trees and everything, so it's great for sort of Sunday morning sort of drifters and riders who want to come up here, and usually quiet roads, you get a clean run. I've got to say, pretty much every time I've come up here it's never been that clean run, but you know, we'll see. But what I want to show you is actually a road that you go along, then all of a sudden you come across a trail and you want to go and investigate it, but you know nothing about it. So it's that kind of decision making. Do you go down the trail that you've never been to before or down before? You know, what you should be looking out for. So let's go and give it a ride. Go and ride the trail, or pretend that we've suddenly come across it. Go and ride it, come back onto the road and carry on with the S's trail. Right. Catch you on the other side. Follow me through, and well, hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
RevelatorAlf.
Right, off we go. So this is one of those classic S's, twisties roads through the trees. All very nice it is. As I say, very rarely get a clean run here, but give it a go. See what we find. It's a beautiful morning here. We're still in the middle of the winter, would you believe, but it's a very spring-like day. Very mild during the day, and then really dry roads and lovely. Very nice indeed. Right, so here we're on the twisties bit. Little sign saying it's very twisty as well. So this is not really a how-to video of how to ride twisties or anything like that. It's more about, you know, you're going on a particular ride and then you can just come across a trail and you think, oh, let's go and investigate that. But having a nice road twisty is always a bonus, I'm sure you would agree. Right, come in here, sort of take it wide, cut in. Now, I've never actually been on this trail up here before. Honestly, I haven't, so I'm not making this up. So let's go and investigate it together. So basically, I'm just going to be making the decisions as I'm going along, seeing what is right, what isn't. I don't even know if this is paved or not. I don't know if it's just a dirt track, where it ends up, whatever. So I think it's this one here. There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So it's a little bit of everything. Right, so all of a sudden, see, I can already see up ahead that it's in the far distance. It's relatively flat, but I can see 4x4s have been there, big puddles, and it's undulating as well. So, but there are dry patches and going to be slippery patches. Look at the soil. It's a mixture of sand and clay. So it's a bit loam soil, so it's a little bit of everything. Got to watch out for the trees. You've got debris that will go onto the road, leaves, whatever, and rotting twigs and stuff like that. So that will kind of add to the slippiness. So let's go and give it a go. Now initially I'm just going to stay stay seated. Don't have to stand up. Go over a little bump. I'm going to avoid the puddles, not because I'm afraid of them, just it's an easier way to go. I'm picking a route that is, you know, drier. That's it. And do you know what? If I have to be honest with you, I don't really fancy washing the bike afterwards. But there you go. Look, I'm obviously joking there. Right, just go along. Now, if I want to stand up here, look, no problem at all. Let the bike sort of spin around beneath me or slip and slide beneath me. No problem at all. Now look here. Here's an issue. I can go on a very narrow dry bit on the edge here, or I can go through the puddle. Do I go through the deep part or the centre part, or just go the edge? Just go around the edge. It's a lot less risky going through the puddle on the edge than it is trying to climb up on a narrow sort of little part. Right, just go through there. You can see, if I just come up here, on top of the pegs, get a much better view, and you can let the bike wander beneath you. Having a good look ahead. Yep, it's all, you can see 4x4s have been down here. relatively compact, a little bit bumpy, just going through these smaller puddles, no dramas at all, having a good look around. Now you've got to watch out for these sort of big rocks or stones that might sort of deflect you a little bit. Again, pace is the order of the day. How fast are you going? Do you really need to go faster it, or are you just making your way through, progressing through at an orderly pace that allow you to, you know, get through? This is actually really nice. Wow. Look at this. Okay, look, so this is pretty dry here. So you can see here now, this part, it's dry, it's flat, it's compact. Well, when I say flat, it's undulating, but it's for the actual where the tyres are going to go, let me put it that way, it's flat. Although it's rutted, but they're very wide ruts and they're very shallow ruts, so you know, nothing that anybody shouldn't be able to handle. And also, this is the kind of track that any bike will be able to ride along as well. You don't need an enduro bike or an adventure bike to go and do this. This is any bike, any trail. So this is kind of making the decisions as you go along. Yeah, it looks all good. Keep it going. Nothing here that was going to say, it's going to say to you, okay, well, yeah, this is, I need to turn back. I'm just keeping it on the pegs, and I've set up on the pegs, not for observation. This is more because it's a little bit bumpy, it's a bit undulating. I can shift my body weight around a little bit, and I can also let the bike, what I call, dance beneath me. Let it just wobble, meander beneath me as it goes over the rocks, as the rear tyre wants to slip around a little bit, as the front tyre wants to search. And if you notice, possibly coming through on the video, my revs are very low. I'm in first gear and I'm just letting the bike, now I could speed up, of course I could, and I could go a little bit faster, but for the point of this exercise, what I'm trying to show you is constantly analyze the trail, look ahead, look in front of you. Right, where should I go? Path of least resistance. Well, I'll go this way. Now, could I have gone right through the centre? Absolutely so. But what I'm trying to show you here is making decisions as you go along. Now there, as I rejoined, the rear tyre slipped and the front tyre slipped. I stood up on the pegs, so I was able to concentrate and to let the bike meander and wander by itself, still shift my body weight to counteract it. No dramas. I've got a feeling I might be coming to the end of this, but give it a go. Now here's a classic case. You've got a puddle, but look, it's been obviously lined with bricks. It's been lined with bricks, and you think, oh, I might be able to go over that. So go give it a go. There's muddy water, and you think the front tyre might deflect, but stood up on the pegs, had a bit of power, clutch control, and just go through it. As I say, pace, how you attack these things is really important. If you're going too fast, then the chances are you're going to come a cropper. So here, once again, a little bit slippy and slimy. Now you could sit down, no dramas with that, but you could stand up. So this time, yeah, it's quite a long puddle, but I've got a lot of space on the right hand side, so I'm choosing the path of least resistance. A little bit muddy and rutted here, so I'm going to go in the centre part where it is more compact, slow it down, control the front tyre, put a bit of weight on the front tyre as well, and just roll through. There we go. So here I could sit down, I'm sat down now, but actually I'm finding it a little bit uncomfortable because it's lots of up and downy bits, lots of mogully bits as well. So, just going to stand back up again. There we go. Nice dog walker there. Oh, Doberman, lovely. Beauty. Actually something going on here. Very nice. Yeah. Well, okay, this is the end of the trail. So what I'll do, I'll double back now. And yeah, I'll double back. And go rejoin the road. Alright. I suppose I better do a video on turning off-road really. Essentially, when you're turning off-road, take it slowly, but you know, turn with the handlebars as well, but shift your weight to the outside of the curve, and then you can lean the bike in, but your body weight keep the bike upright or planted, and then you just go through again. It's better as a visual as opposed to talking about it. Right, back on the trail here. So here, coming back on now, just taking the path of least resistance, having a good look ahead, looking at the trail. Yep, also I'm just simulating now, this is all new to me. Yeah, it's all looking flat, hard and compact. It's relatively dry, not slimy or slushy. There are patches ahead, so I'll have a look at those. I could go left or right or straight through the middle. I'll go just to the edge of the puddle where I know it's still hard and compact. Now, here, this is an option when I say, right, I'm going to go on the outside and I'm just going to follow this narrow trail. I mean, it's good for your riding skills as well, don't get me wrong, to sort of change it up a little bit. Here, getting close to trees, yeah, stood up on the pegs, and you're getting a bit more control. So the faster you go, the more cumbersome and the more erratic your riding is going to become as well. Now there is a trail through that, but there were signs where it was all danger military, so I probably won't do that. Okay. And then back on the trail. Actually, I mean, that trails through there look actually quite hard and compact, better than this. So for this exercise, we'll stay on here. Right, so here, you see, right, I'm going to say, right, this is my only option. I have to go through the puddle, and I'm going to go through it slowly, slowly. If it's a muddy puddle, the chances are you have no idea what it's going to be like. If there's been traffic on it as well, you don't know if there's big potholes, so you've got to go very, very slowly. And you know, if you have to go through any body of water, really the best thing to do, you know, is walk through it. You know, watch my other videos on crossing rivers and fords and things like that. Okay, so here, look, I could stay up on the pegs all day here, but I'm just going to sit down, admire the view as I'm going through. Yeah, and just go on the path of least resistance, as I say. Just going to go on the outside here. No dramas. Beauty. Look at that. Up we go. Whoop-a-la. Now, obviously, you know, you're constantly reading the terrain. Now, just because I've been on this trail before doesn't mean I'm going to underestimate it on the way back. Now I'm coming back, I've got a different perspective. You see, got a different point of view. The sun's in my eyes more, whereas the sun was behind me before. So it's a little bit bumpy, but you know, I'm taking it slow, no problem. So if I wanted to speed this up a little bit, well, the first thing I'll do is go up on the pegs, speed it up, then just let the bike bounce beneath me. There we go. I could, if I wanted to, go up on another gear. There we go, up to second. Yeah, let it bounce, let it bounce. There we go. Let the bike slip and slide beneath me, and away we go. Keep it going, keep it going. Now, if you notice what I'm doing there, I've slowed it down now. I'm going to sit back down and just talk my way through it. Even though you're going faster, the principle is exactly the same. You're still making those decisions. You're still analysing what's ahead of you, what the trail is like, what the surface is like, the path of least resistance, that kind of thing. So that's what you want to aim to achieve. You know, get the fundamentals right, then start looking at speed. And speed, look, is fine, don't get me wrong, but it also depends what you want to achieve. Do you want to get out and immerse yourself in nature and just enjoy the ride? Or do you want to go hell for leather? Hell for leather might work for some people, might not work for others. So, you know, it's just about making the right decisions at the right time. There we go. So here, look, I'm just sat down. You know, people say, oh, you got to stand up. You don't have to stand up at all. you know, it's especially when you've got a flat compacted trail like this, you can just, you know, stay seated, absolutely fine, no dramas, but it's just a little bit less comfortable, you know, when you're doing this. So if you stood up, the bike can wander beneath you, can dance beneath you, and you can just shift your body weight a little bit better. Right, well, pretty much come to the end of the trail again. So let's get to the end of these S's and see where we got. Let's have a look. Right, onto the main drag again. Wow. I think this probably wouldn't have been the cleanest runs I've ever had on this road. I've ridden it a few times and have always come up against traffic, or pretty much anyway. Downhill now. I can see up ahead that that left turn, left bend is off camber as well, and then it's back on camber, then off again. This one is definitely off camber, I can see it. Just taking it wide and then just come back in, keeping it in, letting the gear, choosing my right gear, and then opening up as I start to exit. Beauty. What a glorious day. Unbelievable, it's February. What a marvellous day this is. So we're going right next to a military camp here, army camp here as well. So lots of MOD land around, so they can't go venturing off track too much. You also got to be mindful of where you're riding, of course, and if it's private land, if it isn't, if it's government land, all that kind of stuff. So you've got to make sure that wherever you're riding is public land, you know, wherever you can. Easier said than done, but you know, looking at charts, ordnance survey maps, you know, it's a good way to go. Wow. Right, come to the end of this. Crikey, there are trails everywhere on this road. Love it. Just my nosy nature just coming out. Okay, let me just pull over here. Let me just pull over there. There we go. Right. Perfect. Well, as you can see there, you know, you're coming off the road, you're enjoying your road ride, and all of a sudden you think, oh, that's it, oh, that seems like a nice trail to go and investigate, so you go and investigate it. The procedure is exactly the same. You're looking at it and you're analysing what you're seeing straight away, and then you're making go, no-go decisions all the time, whether you continue, whether you come back, whether you stand up, whether you sit down, and whether you take the path of least resistance. And whether you go on, and whether you sort of take the puddles or take the edge of the puddles, if you avoid the ruts or take the rut, you know, whatever it is. It's one of those things that it's very hard to say to you, this is the absolute way to go, because there is no absolute way to go. You have to make those judgment calls. But a lot of it is down to you as an individual, your experience level, what bike you're riding, how comfortable you feel. You know, it's a multi-variable factors. There's lots of factors to consider at the same time. You know, weather, soil, track, you know, that kind of thing, condition, whether other vehicles are using it, whether pedestrians are using it, horse riders are using it, that kind of thing. Is it relatively flat? Is it gravelly? Is it soft ground, hard ground? So on and so forth. So, you know, you've got like 1,000,001 questions to think about when you're off-road. Off-road really is about surface. It's about surface recognition. Road riding is more about, yes, it's surface, but it's predominantly always going to be a flat surface, unless you hit a pothole, of course. So, you know, that's about making the decision. Anyway, hope you found this useful. This is really about, you know, going off-road, you know, going for a ride on the road. You come across a trail, you want to go investigate it. What's the best way to go and investigate a new trail? Anyway, catch you on the next video whenever it is. Cheers now.